So here were the limitations. One is they had to use Rudolph, obviously. Okay. They also had to use their creative discipline. So whatever it is that they do as a creative person, we contacted them and said, hey, can you do that thing for us? And most of them said yes. Some said no. We'll get them next year. The other limitations are they had their presentation is divided into 2 parts. The first 10 slides is the story. So this whole thing is not the Rudolph story, it's just the first 10 slides. The second 10 slides are their process. So they're going to tell you how they solved this problem, which is the part that I was most excited about, because as a teacher I really like seeing students work through a problem, and I think as creative people you are going to learn quite a bit from seeing how these people solved this problem. It also gave them only half of the time to make something, so they were more likely to say yes. So the Rudolph story is 3.5 minutes, and then the whole thing is 6 minutes and 40 seconds. The last limitations are, they had 4 slides that they had to cover. The first one is a title slide. The 4th slide had to have Santa on it. The 7th slide had to have all the other reindeer, and the 10th slide has to have Rudolph and his nose shining. So that's what we told them. All 10 of these presentations came together sort of on their own, and they're all brilliant. I'm just really excited about what's about to happen. So, did I cover everything, Jake? Bingo. Yeah, Jake says bingo. Okay. He credits most of his creativity to his roots in skateboarding. Thank you. Skateboarding gave him insight to see a bench or a handrail and think, what trick could I do with that? Now Bryan sees design the same way he thinks, how could he animate that and bring it to life? You're going to see some pretty awesome stuff right now from Bryan that he made just for you tonight. Bryan Findell.
Hello all. Alright, my story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's a little bit in the future. A lot of things have changed in the world. For one, the audio's up? Good. North Pole is completely melted, so that's really unfortunate. But we didn't want to lose the polar bears, so we started a campaign called polarbearfloat.org, and you can send them arm floaties. Santa's workshop got moved into a snow globe under the ocean on the North Pole. Business as usual. I was working to put the presents in the bag, and Santa did more factory style, less elf work. There's a new problem. 98% of the coal has been depleted, so naughty kids just get the small iPads, and the big ones for the nice kids. So Santa, he's going over his list and watching the news. We begin today with terrible news. Christmas has been canceled. The storm has reached Category 9 and it's pure darkness in there. President Yeezy will address the nation at 9 p.m. Scientists around the world are working hard to come up with solutions for the storm. Thanks for tuning in to Not So Jolly News. Alright, so he's not excited about that, but he's safe. He packaged up his gun so while he was out. The reindeer were not as lucky. They went extinct. But we have robot ones now. Hooves with jetpacks on them. Reindeer is the brand. Each one has a different model, Donner, Prancer. So he's just going through his shop, making sure everything's ready. He's disappointed because it's not going to be bright enough to go through the storm. But he returns to his office and he sees a package, and it's from a Dr. Rudolph. And this doctor sent him an infrared nose so that he could go into the storm and see. He's super excited about it. Yeah! So now he knows he can go into the storm. He doesn't need the lights, extra lights on the sleigh. So he's going to go out and deliver to the children. They're hybrids though, so it's kind of slow. So now he gets to go to the storm, he gets to deliver all the kids. And Dr. Rudolph was the one that came through for him and saved Christmas in 2050 with an infrared invention. All right, so I'm Bryan. Thank you. I'm not really a designer, so I got some art direction from Eric and Jesse, and I want to thank Annie for creating the music. There's a lot, she worked really hard on it, and there's like 3 or 4 different songs inside of that one for it, so it's great. Polarbearfloat.org, by the way, check it out. Creative process, story, this is where I wrote down everything, and I was trying to think of what problems would be in 2050. Flyover radiation zone, no reindeer, polar bear float, no snowmen, iPad helium, lighter than the air that's out now. So, storyboarding, this is where I put my ideas onto paper so I can help envision that's how I get the snowball rolling. I draw in a very video 3D sense though, so story, design, yes. So the middle one here, that's my first attempt at trying to do some 3D design because I have that video background, so I see everything like it is. Designing a more 2D direction was a big learning experience for me, so I respect all of you designers for helping simplify that because it looked way better 2D. Polarbearfloat.org. My idea for this was just how ridiculous could I be to save polar bears, and arm floaties it's definitely that ridiculous. So check out the website though, you can watch this again. Santa's Workshop, obviously it's a snow globe. I was trying to think of a base, the underwater base that they would be in, and it's snow globe, you can shake it up, and yeah, so. I was always wondering how the presents got put into the bag. It holds a lot of stuff. All right, Santa, you're all having a beer with Santa tonight. So, cheers. Eric's idea was the antlers, which I thought was awesome, because I wanted to put an actual reindeer head up there, but that was too much. Yeah. Santa's responsible. He puts his guns away at lockbox. The storm is obviously a big part of the story, so another ridiculous thing, President Easy. Tried to foreshadow a little bit with Dr. Rudolph and having an invention to help save Christmas with an infrared nose, which I was pretty excited about. And reindeer. Okay, obviously they were extinct, and that's really sad, so I had to try to figure out how am I going to show Rudolph's red nose in the end if I don't have any reindeer. So I definitely had to have at least some kind of reindeer. So I went with jetpacks. That seemed reasonable. Extra reindeer games over there, right? Parts. Rudolph's red nose. I was trying to think, how do you see in the dark? Well, our military, they use infrared. And when I said red, I was like, oh, obviously, infrared, Rudolph's red nose, and that would obviously save Christmas. I had to modify it. Most of the lights on infrared glasses are up top, so. But thank you very much, and again, thanks to Annie and all of you for coming out.